Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where we are at the ABV Barrel Shop Tasting Bar getting ready to taste Bardstwown Bourbon Company's new Distillery Reserve. This one is the Hokkaido Mizunara Oak Barrel Finish. My name is Steve Akeley, joined by Darren, Carrie, and Justine. What's up, gang?
Hello.
Nothing. What's up with you, Steve?
Not much. Looking forward to this one. I was able to grab a little taste of this already because I released a video on my Bourbon Sasquatch channel that you guys can see out there. I actually opened this live on the air and tasted it. I wanted to release that. They had a release date when the product was coming out on, I think it was July 8th, and did that in conjunction with that, and then just haven't had time to get together the podcast version of this prior to now. So we even tried to do this, what was the other day, Darren?
Tuesday night.
Got out the stuff, got out the bottle, and we were like, let's do this, and then customers came in and we were busy the rest of the night.
Yeah, and we hadn't seen anyone else the rest of the day, and then there was 30 people in here the rest of the night. It was kind of crazy. First
customer came in at 4:30, and it wasn't really a customer, it was Josh Dale, one of the regulars. He was just coming in to say hi. He wasn't going to buy anything because he's waiting until Saturday, which is our anniversary. He wasn't going to buy anything. We knew that. Not a problem. It was good to see him. He's been working nights. We haven't seen him much.
He was actually hoping that, because there's some weather kicking in, and he was kind of hoping that he could get on the next Tornado Survivors pick, is what he was trying for. He's like, maybe.
I'll show up and be here for that. So, yeah. But he was the first customer. We're like, let's do this podcast. And then, like I said, as soon as we got the stuff out, boom, busy. And it ended up being a really good day at the shop, which is, that's a turnaround. So we like when that kind of stuff happens. But my question for the day, you two, you're just off a road trip right now because you live in Michigan. You came down here to St. Louis for the event. What are things that you talk about in the car with someone while you're on a road trip? I think this is just thrown out with the things that you end up talking about. You two should be very fresh on this because.
So we're also pretty fresh on this because we just spent a bunch of hours in the car with Dustin and Nikki going to MGP. And we talked about pretty much everything. I think we had a 45-minute conversation about chainsaws and axes. Sure. And I think we had...
there was a bromance brewing in the car, so...
Yeah, no, that's
Dustin's
true.
wife, Nikki, and I weren't involved in this bromance, so we just were quiet while they talked about chainsaws. What else is the stuff you guys are into? It's all weird shit. Lumberjack lives, wood,
zoo stuff.
Zoo stuff.
He likes for at least 45 minutes.
He likes zoo stuff. Yeah.
It was really just me and Dustin talking the majority of the car ride.
Dustin loved every minute of it, other than when we passed the Mile High Pie sign, and Darren said, "That's too much pie."
And
then Dustin was like, "That's bullshit. The bigger the pie, the better. You want the big pie, especially when it's those, with the meringue on there. He's like, they want that." And Darren was like, "Nope, you don't want a big piece." And then and Dustin was like, "Well, this kind of ruined it. We had a good thing going."
I thought I was getting kicked out. Just 45 minutes from home.
You'd have been in Highland, Illinois, right by the Mile High Pie sign. So.
I will say though, I will stand by that cream pies are nowhere near as good as any other type of pies. Like, I want fruit, I want pumpkin, I don't, like, key lime is good, I don't care for it, though. Like, I don't need as much key lime pie as I need pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple pie, cherry pie. All of those are better than a lemon meringue, a chocolate cream, like, any of those. It does not matter.
Okay. Why? I don't know about that, but it's controversial.
Yeah.
So that would be the kind of stuff you talk about on a road trip. Chainsaws, zoos.
Whiskey.
See, I got off a long road trip with Royce. I mean, we talk about money, crimes we could get away with.
Yeah, but you can have that conversation once.
No.
There's always new chainsaws out there.
There's always new crimes you can commit try to get away with. Yeah.
Spotting different areas where it would be easy to hide a body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We stopped at a rest area that looked like something out of an 80s horror movie.
Uh-huh.
And there was like a little like creek behind it that we're pretty sure there may be dead bodies in there.
Yeah.
We made fun of all the Uranus fudge
yeah.
billboards.
They're making fun of themselves, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're in on the joke. They literally do that for the joke. So yeah.
And then
definitely gets your attention.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Then we remembered and make fun of all of the other things like that, like the Butt Hut and
Gaze Liquor,
and I don't know, just random.
They used to have butt drugs, but they went out of business. So yeah, that was right there. As soon as you cross the river, going from Kentucky into Indiana. So yeah, I had Jay Tyler reach out. He came in here one day. You know Jay Tyler from mostly social media stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he did come into an ABV network event once, but other than that, mostly interaction with him is through social media. But he came in here one day, and he's famous for being like a super bourbon fan. He's the most unique bourbon fan that I know, because he's like a super bourbon fan. Like, wants to know about events and research and listens to podcasts and all that. And then his collection famously runs between 1 and 3 bottles, and most of them are like Wild Turkey 101 or Jim Beam White Label. So I just wonder why you spend all this time listening and learning about all these brands and the high-end stuff and all that. You don't drink any of that. But he came in here and he bought a bottle, and then he sent me a message. It was like, "Oh, I was in your store. You didn't even mention me on the podcast." So there you go. He's on the podcast.
Yeah. We're just backlogged. We had whole repertoire of shows built up.
Yeah. So he came in. Don't you think that's a unique bourbon fan, though?
Yeah.
To be that into it, but then not really, experience it. It's kind of interesting to me, because you think that anybody who listens to the show, they got to be deep in it. Their collections are out of control. They're buying everything. They're standing in the line to buy stuff. But no, not necessarily, which is pretty wild. Now that we're on the show, and I allowed him to air his grievance that I didn't talk about, I got a grievance with him. So I famously been drinking the cherry juice, and it's helped me with my knee and then other aches and pains. And I've told a lot of other people, they've said that it's helped him. He sent me a message and saying his wife had started this, got some cherry juice, is going to be drinking that. And then I sent him a message, I think a couple days later, but he was like, "Oh, she just had her first dose today. We don't know the results yet or anything." And then he never got back with me. Okay. So there you go. Now it's on him. Now he has to get back to me. Yep. We'll see how it went. If it made any change for her, he never got back. So yeah.
You recommended it like 2-3 people at Indiana. When you were in Indiana, you were just like, "Hey, you need cherry juice.
You should do that." Yeah. And most people are skeptical.
I tried telling my parents that because I think it would help my mom, and she said, "Yeah, I heard that somewhere else." And then I told my dad, who I then had to repeat it to like 4 times because he really needs a hearing aid and refuses to get one.
Right. It's not going to help with that, by the way.
Yeah. And then once he finally heard me and I told him that you had said it, and he's like, "Your friends drink too much. They're probably drunk when they came up with that."
See? That's what most people think. There's no way it can be true. And, it doesn't happen immediately as soon as you drink it. So you give it a day or two and see what happens. And it's worth it.
Same-day results?
Maybe. But not like the immediate as you drink it. But no medicine works immediate that quick. So, but yes, Try it. You really don't have anything to lose, right? You got to buy a bottle of cherry juice. What's the worst case scenario? You buy a bottle of cherry juice. It's delicious. And you're like, well, this didn't make a difference in my health. I'm not going to buy it again. Okay, so there you go.
Worst case scenario is you're allergic to it and you don't know it.
And then you die.
And then you die.
Maybe that's the worst case.
Or while you're reading the cherry juice label, being like, oh, wow, this works. And then you get smacked by a bus just walking down the road. There's a lot of worst case scenarios out there.
I'm just not sure about any of that, but okay.
I think the allergy is probably more of a probability.
Is the cherry allergy? I've never heard anybody said I'm allergic to cherry.
I haven't heard that either. That's why I think the bus is more of a thing.
Yeah, that's you do think about a lot of things. I mean, I've never heard anybody say I'm allergic to cherries, but there's probably got to be someone who is.
And what's the downside? If you don't like it straight, make a cocktail.
Yeah, there's something you could do with it.
And if you really don't like it, you can throw it out because it probably only costs you $2.69.
Exactly. So yeah. So you have options there. It's worth giving it a try and seeing if it makes a difference for you. And that's what I'll say. If you don't have results within the first bottle, and it's just 6 ounces a day, if you don't have results after drinking that first bottle, it's not going to happen. It's not going to change anything. So don't bother. But those that have, it works. Kathy Cool. I'll call her out. So she started drinking. She had some problems with her hips. Her hips were bothering her, and she started drinking cherry juice, and it got better. And she does it for a couple of months. She's like, it's probably not the cherry juice. So she quits drinking it, and it comes back. And then she's like, shit, I'm getting my cherry juice, and I'm never not drinking again. So then now she's back to being feeling good again. So yeah, it really does work. So
just get an IV of it.
Maybe I'll just have a drip or a port.
Have a port installed, and then you just
I want one of those things you got to walk around with.
Like
an IV, the bag. Yeah, you see people stroll around the hospital. That'll be mine for cherry juice. So as I get older, I'm okay right now.
We'll get you a Tommy Bahama hospital gown.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It's a sight.
Yeah.
It's something, right?
It's a visual.
It's something.
I'm just imagining dropping the thing and just cherry juice everywhere.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a great way to spill some cherry juice.
Yes, exactly. All right, we're going to take it out to break with the cork pop from this special offering. This is a 375, folks, so I'm not expecting explosive, and again, it's not a contest, but we want to get the cork pop in here, so let's see what we got. Here we go. I think it was nice for what it is.
Yep.
I think for a 375, that was pretty good. So what we'll do next, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to give this thing a taste. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the talk show podcast. It could be a talk show.
A talk show.
If you were
get
here,
a new car. You get a new car.
if you were here, it would be a talk show. But right now, it's just a podcast. And we come to you every day and we talk about bourbon. And
wow, has this been a format change?
You're listening to the Bourbon Daily, and we are going to start over.
Is that how the show starts out?
No!
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is Steve, Darren, Carrie, and Justine. We're here getting ready to try the newest release from Bardstwown Bourbon Company. What do we got here, Darren? So,
this is a bourbon whiskey coming in that has been finished in that Mizunara oak, coming in at 109.3 proof.
Okay.
375 bottles. 47% of it is 15-year-old Kentucky. 33% of it is 14-year-old Kentucky. Those two are the same mash bills, so...
Okay.
No, they're not. I just can't read. They're not the same mash bills. One has 3% more corn.
Okay.
And 3% less rye.
I would have picked up on that when we taste this.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you corrected that.
15% Indiana 9-year.
Okay.
Ooh, and that is a rye that's blended in here, so it's actually not a...
Bourbon, it's a bourbon. Bourbon, it's not a bourbon. Well, it still could be a bourbon.
Bourbon, yeah, because the majority of it is bourbon.
Correct.
So. And then 5% Tennessee 18-year-old.
Okay. Adam Stumpf was the first person that ever posed this to me, and he said, "What if you did a 51% corn, 49% rye bourbon, and then blended that with a 51% rye, 49% bourbon, then what do you call it? Because it's equal, right?"
Yeah, and you're blending in equal parts. I feel like the quick way to ask this question, what do you call something that's 50% bourbon and 50% rye? Would have been the quick way to ask this question, I feel like. Because that's the same result, right?
That's American whiskey, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't qualify for either. This one, but
because it qualifies in the other thing, and then when you blend it together. Okay,
and then his question might have even been more specific too. Then he was like, "Well, what if you did a 51% blend with a high rye bourbon, like 49%, and then you did a 49%, but just 100% rye, and then you have more rye. Then what happens? Yeah. Is it still called, because the rule, the TB rule is the blend can be called whatever is the majority. So it's a majority bourbon, but in reality there's more rye in that than bourbon. It's an interesting quandary.
It is an interesting quandary.
And no one's ever done that. So I've even asked some other distillers. I asked at MGP one time, actually.
Okay.
I was like, what would you do with that? And they were like, we don't know what we do.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody actually knows. And if somebody's going to blow the TTB's mind and submit that sometime, and then it'll be like, what do we do here?
That would be a really fun series of just messing with the TTB. And that's what you call it, just messing with the TTB.
That can't go wrong.
Yeah, no.
For sure. All right, let's give this thing a taste. Let's see what we got here.
Wow.
It's beautiful, right?
On that nose, you get that, it's that toasted double oak just drowning you. And then it comes through on the palate, too. Nice, smooth, continues on.
Yeah.
Easy drinking, crushable.
Back end, it's just caramel for days.
Yep.
And dates. Dates.
And caramel, dates, and spice, too. There's the spiciness of the rye that's in there is definitely part of that, too. So, that's delightful.
Yeah. And I could see how easily, if you're just sitting down with the 375, it can be gone in a night. It just...
True.
You want more on your palate. It's that sensation of wanting more, and it tastes so good, and it's full, rich. It could disappear pretty easily.
Yeah.
Do we know how much that runs?
So Notre Dame, I think, was about $100 right right? I think it was $99 was the price tag at the distillery and the other place. So I'm going to assume this one's in the same price range.
Yeah, but don't quote us on that. But that's what we're thinking. So don't say, "Well, you please match the price with the what the Bourbon Daily said," because we have no insider information to that. We don't even know if it's available still for sale. We do know that Justine and Carrie were at the tasting room on Whiskey Row. They did not have it at Bardstwown Bourbon Company.
I didn't see it, but I also wasn't really looking.
And that doesn't even mean it's not still there. They could release so many a day. You know, there's different strategies. Hey, we put out 10 in the morning, or so we think it's, and the last one was so popular, the Cathedral, that we're thinking it's probably gone, but you don't know. It's worth looking for, especially if you're going to be going to the distillery or the tasting room anyway. Why not give it a look for sure?
And I know with the Cathedral release, because I was there pretty soon after that one released, they had signs up everywhere that says, "Please don't ask us about the Cathedral release. We're done with this game." And the fact that those signs weren't everywhere yet means that there's probably still some. Maybe it hadn't gotten to the tasting room yet because it just launched on the 8th.
Yeah.
So, or sometime not too long ago.
I think it was the 8th. I think that was the date. So. Yeah. But very cool. Well, that's a good one. Once again, I don't know. We're waiting for Bardstwown to have a miss, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. Everything I get from them is just fantastic. So, and then the combination with the sister company with Green River, great stuff coming out of there as well. So they're really firing on all cylinders. So, very cool. So, good stuff once again. Get your hands on it if you can. That's for sure.
Yep.
We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
All right, Carrie.
Okay, I'm on Instagram with CarrieN917.
All right, Justine.
You can find me on Instagram at JA_Maze.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, that place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Justine, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. Also, if you like what we're doing, please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.